What's up, guys, ladies and gentlemen? We are live from the garage. Live from the garage. Waiting on my boy Alan to show up. My brother.
I had to get plugged in. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Chilling, man.
Yeah, we finally got together, man. A little technical difficulties, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What you got in Cali still?
Yeah, man. I'm out here right now, man. Out here next to the beach. Chilling.
Okay, that's what's up. We live streaming right now, man, from the basement. From the garage, actually, man.
Okay.
But yeah, man. It's our first show, man. We ain't got a name yet. Maybe we might have to call it the A&A show. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with it.
So, man, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. We got to work on that, but that sounds all right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So yeah, today, man, we just gonna talk about a little bit about entrepreneurship, man. I know we both entrepreneurs, man. We've been handling business around the world, man, globally for a while now, man. And
yeah, years.
A lot of people look up to us, I feel, and you know, it's a lot of people who are interested in entrepreneurship, but I don't think they have an idea on where to start, like what it even means, like what does it feel like to be an entrepreneur. I feel like if they had that information, then I think we see more people, more of us, you know, out here handling business, man. So hopefully, man, we can give some insight to some people out there who are on the fence,
Yeah.
You know, working a job or you know, starting a business or investing or whatever it may be. So that's what we're gonna talk about today, man.
Okay.
But before we start, man, I guess we could just give a small introduction of who we are, a little bit about our background, and where we came from and all that good stuff. If you want to start first, man, you can go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'll start. So, as a lot of you guys know, my name is Alan. I'm from Lexington with you guys. I grew up, went to Henry Clay and everything. And then I left the city when I was 18, you know. I joined the Navy. I've been traveling around, and the Navy has allowed me to fund and invest in what I want to do, you know. So it's been a long ride. As Adam said, we've been dealing with each other for years and years and years, man. But right now, currently, I'm in several different investments.
I think we lost you, Alan. I think we lost Alan. He was getting into the bread and butter of hold on, I think he just came back. Alan, you back?
You can hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah, you dropped for a second.
Yeah, my connection is a little unstable because I'm traveling. I'm driving to LA in like about 30 minutes. So, okay. Yeah.
Traffic, man.
Yeah. So like I was saying, man, I'm in several different investments. Me and Adam been like partners and been checking each other on like a business and entrepreneur level for years and years and years, man. I do stocks, Bitcoin. I've started my own like investment type things, and I've just really tried to jump on any opportunity that presents itself. If I feel like it's a good idea, typically I jump on it, or I talk to my brother Adam, and he kind of gives me his insight on it, and then we go into further research and we do what we do. But that's a little bit about me, man. What's going on with you, Adam?
Absolutely. So you guys know, or if you don't know, I'm based out of Lexington. I'm still here. Fortunately, Alan was able to get out of the city and explore the world a little more than I have, and really got to experience a whole lot more than me as far as different people, different cultures, the way people do things differently, other cities, other countries. I actually had the luxury of visiting him in Japan, man. My first international flight, man. That was amazing. That was an amazing trip. Hopefully I get to go back again. But a little bit about me, 30 years old. been investing for a very long time. Started probably back in 2000 and I say 2008. 2008 was probably my very first real investment, and with in the music business. And ever since then, things happen. You start to diversify yourself, and you start to try to, you learn more, and you figure out there's different ways of leveraging your skills and leveraging your credit, money, etc., in order to get involved with other things. So
Yeah.
I have an IT background as well, so I'm in the IT space, which is why my biggest and most favorite investment right now is Bitcoin. Of course, me and Alan, we're both partners on that as well. But so I do small time investing, small businesses, invest in a few startups, a few tax companies, a few different things like that. And right now it's Bitcoin, and looking forward to what the fall season is going to have for us to kind of use some of our cash, leverage our credit, and a few other things. But that's a little bit about me. Always looking for new opportunities. Me and Alan, like I said, we've had a long-term business relationship, and anytime there's something new, any new way for us to help each other to make more money, we always find a way to link back up and make it happen. And that's what this series is going to be about today. So entrepreneurship. We're both entrepreneurs. I think we both love being entrepreneurs. I do. I know for me, the first thing I think about when it comes to entrepreneurship is freedom. Freedom is probably the best part for me. The fact that I'm able to really plan my days, plan my life exactly how I want to. Like, I'm the architect of how my life turns out. It's not really dictated by other people's emotions or feelings or their work ethic. It's really, if I don't make it happen, I don't make it happen, and that kind of wakes me up every day.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, Alan, but that's probably the number one thing I think of when it comes to entrepreneurship. What about you?
So, as you said, man, financial freedom, that's the biggest thing. Like the ability to do anything that you really, really want to do, and just hesitate and not pulling the trigger on certain things will just allow you to not do that. So, as Adam said, man, we both been invested for a long time, man, and having the freedom to go where we want, do what we want, buy what we want, and invest in other things. It's like a feeling of self-accomplishment. As he said, he's an IT. I got an IT background as well, but that's the biggest thing, is just being able to get resources and divvy them out and just grow. Growth is the biggest thing. Growth. A question that I have for you is, I know that we're both from Lexington, and we've been investing and doing different things for a long time. What is one issue that you're seeing with the city as far as people getting started and starting investing?
What I see more than anything, is just, I want to say fear, but I don't think it's fear. I think it's the consumer mindset, right? So when we're as a kid, right? Like, a lot of us grew up in inner cities. We didn't really have privileged parents, so we kind of lived a mediocre life. We didn't really have a whole lot of opportunities. We made the most of what we had, but a lot of people are just stuck in the consumer mentality. When I say that, that means we have been taught to spend. Like, we don't know how to use a dollar, take a dollar and turn it into $1.50 or turn it into $2. So to me, when someone starts talking that language, it's kind of like trying to speak in a whole other language. I was just in the Dominican, man, and most people spoke Spanish there, and I kind of felt kind of like, kind of felt a little weird about it. Like, I didn't approach people as much as I normally would, so I really wasn't my complete self. So I know how it feels to feel out of place, or to have something presented to you, and you have this sense of, well, I can't do that. I don't know what that is. I don't have the time to learn how to do this. I think that's kind of the key, the biggest thing that I see. So when that happens, what does one do? Natural instincts will just continue to do what you've always done. You're not going to, most people won't take the time to sit down and learn something new and say, yeah, I'm not here yet. I don't have a business right now. I'm not an investor yet. I don't know anything about it, but I'm willing to sit down and learn what these terms mean. Go to Investopia and start learning the financial terms. A lot of people just don't know what to do. So I think what we're providing here, man, is a way and proof that it's possible. I feel like me and you didn't really go. I don't have a business degree, and I don't think you have one either. So we had to grind, get up on the Google, man, and figure things out. You know, so for me, that's what I feel is the biggest thing is this misinformation. I'm sure you've came across a whole lot more different people than I have as far as outside of Lexington. So I'm curious as to, do people think the same the places that you've been, or do you get a different experience?
So all the places I've been, as you said, I've been all over. I've traveled a lot. I've been all over Europe. I've been out through the Middle East. Planning on going to Africa next year sometime, and all throughout the Pacific. It's generally the same. It's just a little bit less hesitation. I know Adam said that not to necessarily call it fear or anything, but I see it more as kind of we hesitate. Everybody that's in Lexington, everybody that grows up and they're an adult or when they're a kid, they want to do certain things. Like everybody wants to start something. They want to go do something. Now the difference is do it instead of just wanting. Like you could want anything you want, but if you never make a move on it, like you'll be at the same level that you are today. And so I've had the privilege of meeting several business owners. I've sat down, I've had lunch and stuff with millionaires. I have several investing friends that possibly in the future we can go ahead and depending on how the series goes, I like to bring in different business owners, people that do different things, different type of investors, and that way we get a wide range of knowledge that we can pass out to the city and that we can put back into the youth, the adults, and everybody that's trying to grow in their life. But yeah, that's one thing that I've been seeing is that people just it's not necessarily the ambition, but they just hesitate on pulling the trigger on certain things.
Yeah.
I know people, there's steps that you have to take, and there's like a general direction that you have to get to first before you can start investing, which is an issue that I see in Lexington. Is capital, is having the money to actually invest. So as you said, everybody has the consumer mindset. Once you get away from that consumer mindset, you'll have an opportunity to invest, because at that point you'll be saving your money. You won't be going out buying the most expensive things or the newest, the latest. You won't be living check to check. You'll have money that you can invest and you can watch it grow. And that's the biggest thing that I want this series to do, is just to show people there's a different way to go about things. You can invest in anything.
Right.
Me and Adam has invested in, as you said, the music business. We went everywhere from the movies to TV commercials to stocks, bonds, to startup businesses, to everything. It's just about having that opportunity. And another problem is with people not pulling the trigger when you're young. Like I just turned 29. When you're young and everything, you have the opportunity to make that money back. So why not now is the biggest question I got to ask you guys out there. Why not now?
It's a really good point, man. That's a really good points, man. And I want to piggyback off of something you just said about pulling the trigger. So when I think about all of my successes in my career so far, whether it was my choice to go to school at the time I did, choice to begin investing, the choice I made to want more out of my life, like all those great decisions, all those successes I've had with those things were when I decided to just make the decision. Like, like there was no hesitation, right? Like I knew where I was and I knew where I wanted to be. And I knew if I kept doing the same things that I was currently doing, like there was no way that I was going to be able to catch up and bridge the gap with people who are actually out there really doing it, So I say that to say, man, like that's a really big nugget to take out of this. Like there's a lot of people who get the whole blueprint get put in front of them, man, and they listen to it and they understand it, but they still don't pull the trigger on it. And And one of my favorite sayings, I write it on my board all the time. The word poor, right? Right. The word poor has a misconception. To me, it's an acronym, right? Poor means passing over opportunities repeatedly. That's what poor means to me. And a lot of people who are poor, that's what they do. They pass up opportunities repeatedly every day, every month, every year. There's always a reason why you can't do it. Or I gotta wait till next Friday, and then next Friday comes and nothing happens. So if anything, we need to get out of that waiting mindset. Just make a decision. If there's something that you want to do, something that you've been thinking about doing, just start. I don't care if it's picking up a book that is based on the topic that you're trying to start. You want to start a food truck business? Pick up a book that talks. There's books about every single thing in the world that you ever want to get involved with. Use the library. The library is always free. There's books everywhere in the world. Start there. You don't have to immediately start making money with it. Sometimes you got to take the time and learn different concepts, learn the business before you just jump in it. And that's okay. Some people just jump in it. Some people take their time with it. It depends on who you are as a person and what type of skills you have. So I just wanted to add that to kind of what you said earlier, Alan, about passing over, about, being passive and not taking advantage of opportunities when they come. So
yes,
that was a really good point.
Okay.
So
yeah.
what other questions you got, man? You got any other things that can help the people out there?
Yeah. So a question I just kind of thought about while you were piggybacking off of what I said earlier is, this is like an honest question you should ask yourself, like when you're thinking about investing or doing anything else. Would you struggle more in year one to provide a better year two? That's like an honest question you could ask yourself, because would you struggle more? Like, if I took this year to further myself and throw money here and put money into this, study, put myself a little bit more in the hole, because I know in the next year my growth is going to be so much better, would you do it? Because I personally would. I would struggle a lot this year just to make sure that next year is a lot better.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
Hey, that's why they make noodles, man. That's why they got the big pack of the poison noodles, man. You get 100 of them for like $5. You know what I'm saying? The old college meal. And that's why that stuff's there, man. Like, it's all temporary, but it's all about being strategic. Like you said, when you are able to sit down with yourself and map out what your plans are, then yes, like you should be willing to struggle or not go to that restaurant every weekend, not go to that party, not drink every weekend, because you have a bigger goal ahead of you. And for me, I'm gonna add this too. You always have to have a why, right? You got to have a why on why you do anything. So for me, I started this thing called breaking cycles, right? So breaking cycles, man, is just like, there's obviously, like, there's no getting around it. There's no sugarcoating it. Like, there's a cycle. A cycle is something that does this, right? There's a cycle, man, that every family in the world has. Something that's every family generation have done over and over and over. It could be good or it could be bad. So mine's, unfortunately, wasn't always the best, right? So there's got to be somebody in that cycle to kind of break the cycle, right? So I'm looking at myself as that person. Otherwise, the generations will continue to be the same, right? So that's what wakes me up. That's what helps me make investment decisions. That's what helps me struggle for a year, 2, 3 years. Allows me to take losses and being able to bounce back. It allows me to do all those different things because I know that there's a bigger picture. It's always bigger than you, So when you continue to remember that it's always bigger than you, then I think that you'll be at more of an ease to not try to keep up with the Joneses with everything and just do your own thing.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about it, man. What about you?
I feel exactly the same way. So just having the opportunity, man, is the biggest thing for me. That why question is what a lot of people got to ask themselves, because without that, you won't have the ambition to continue to grow more. I know a lot of people do it for their family, for their friends, for their future. But you have to have goals. As you said, you got to write things down. I always carry around something like this when I want to write something down, jot down a note about something. And you need that too. You got to have goals. You got to know where you want to go. Like in 3 years for myself, I'm buying a house. Like that's the goal I have now that I live in the States. So I'm buying a house. I'm not sure where yet, but I have to build towards that. So in order to get that, I need to have several different incomes so I can make sure that I have the best down payment so I can not pay for it for the rest of my life. Like I want to, I'm not going to share with what I want to do, but me and Adam have had several conversations on where I'm going to be in about 10, 11 years. So I'm not going to share that on this episode here, but possibly on the next one.
Hey, I feel you 100%. I think we're giving them a little too much for the first one, man. I think we probably need to go ahead and wrap this one up, because I feel like we gave y'all some game, like in like 10 minutes. Like those are some real nuggets that when we were younger, wish somebody was doing these seminars and we could just tune in and watch, like somebody to grab us by our hand and show us the way. So that's kind of what we're trying to provide for y'all right now. But I think we're gonna cut it short. We'll leave y'all with maybe 1 or 2 more nuggets. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to say that a nugget to walk away with, some homework for you, is to spend more time with yourself. When I started doing that, my life started changing, right? Because the world is noisy. There's always a bunch of noise. There's always people, distractions. Like, once you spend more time with yourself, you really start to realize who you are and what you're capable of. So when I say that, I mean reading, I mean writing in your journal. Like Alan said, keep a journal, keep your thoughts out of your head on paper. All those things are spending time with yourself.
Yep.
Once you start doing that, get in the habit of doing that, it becomes second nature, and you start to become more creative. You start to be able to think better. You start to be able to shake and move a little different. You start to walk different. So that's one nugget that I'm gonna leave with you guys. I'll let Alan give y'all one.
Okay. So one that I could think of right now would be to figure out what you could live without. You know, whether it's cutting back on the amount of packs of cigarettes you buy, if it's cutting back on the amount of green you buy, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's a shoe here or there, or something that you could pull back. I'm telling you, all that money adds up to everything. Let's say you spend you buy a pack of cigarettes a day. If you cut that in half and you buy 3 packs of cigarettes a week, you're gonna save yourself $20 to $30, $40 every week. So then that'll be easily $120 a month, and in a few months you'll have enough money to invest in something and then keep on growing like that, you know. Or you could just have that as your investment. You're cutting back on cigarettes, and now you just save such and such and such and such. In a year's time frame, you'll have enough money to do pretty much whatever you want to do. Put a down payment on something, you'll have over $1,000. So, but that's one thing I'm going to leave with y'all, to just figure out what you could cut back on, and that way you'll have money to do whatever you want. You'll save a little bit more.
Absolutely, man. Those are key points, key nuggets, man. I hope y'all taking notes today. We also have some investment opportunities available for you guys. If any of this information triggered you to want to take action, me and Alan have several things that you can get into as far as putting your money to use, putting your mind to use. Feel free to contact any of us about it. Bitcoin is the biggest thing for us right now. We are really, really enjoying that journey, and you guys can join too. So we'll leave you guys with that. Contact us. We probably start doing this, I don't know, depending on what time permits. I know Alan's a lot busier than I am. Once a week, twice a month, I don't know. We'll see what type of feedback we get, man. But I think people are gonna start to look forward to seeing these episodes, man. So appreciate you, man, taking the time out, man. Don't get stuck in that traffic out there, man. I know it's about to be rush hour.
Yeah,
rush hour
it is.
On the way. Yeah, so me and Alan, man, signing off the ANA show. We'll get back to y'all next time.
Free game.
Peace.